Imagine a place tucked away from the world, a secret kingdom cradled high in the embrace of the mighty Pyrenees mountains. This isn't a fairy tale, it's Andorra. As you journey here, the landscape becomes your guide, rising dramatically from the rolling hills of France or the sun-baked plains of Spain. The air grows crisp and cool, filled with the scent of pine. Steep, formidable mountains, their peaks often dusted with snow even in milder months, soar towards the sky. They stand like ancient sentinels, guarding the deep, narrow valleys that snake between them. It's a land of breathtaking contrasts, where rugged, untamed nature meets pockets of civilization that feel both ancient and surprisingly modern. This tiny nation is one of Europe's best-kept secrets, a geographical and political curiosity squeezed between two giants. For centuries, its isolation was its greatest defense. Getting here used to be a real trek, a journey only for the most determined travelers. Today, modern roads have pierced the mountain fortress, but that sense of being somewhere special, somewhere apart from the rest of Europe, remains. Andorra is so small you could drive across its entire length in less than an hour, a fact that's almost comical when you consider the sprawling nations on either side. It's a country measured not in sprawling cities, but in winding roads, soaring peaks, and charming stone-built villages clinging to the hillsides. As you explore, you'll find this tiny principality is a delightful jumble of experiences. In one moment, you're wandering through the narrow, cobbled streets of a medieval village, where ancient stone houses stand testament to a long and resilient history. You can almost hear the echoes of shepherds and traders from centuries past. Then, just around the bend, you find yourself on a bustling boulevard in the capital, Andorra la Vella. Here, the scene transforms into a modern shopper's paradise, with sleek glass-fronted boutiques offering luxury goods, electronics, and perfumes, all without the burden of sales tax. It's a fascinating blend of old-world charm and 21st-century consumerism. This unique combination of history, nature, and commerce raises an interesting question for any budget-conscious traveler. You see the gleaming storefronts and the ski resorts, and you might think this is a playground exclusively for the wealthy. But then you see the simple, hearty local life, the farmers' markets, and the affordable mountain cafes. This prompts the tantalizing thought. Could a person actually live here on a modest budget? Could someone carve out a life in this mountain paradise for, say, $600 a month? It's a puzzle that reveals the complex and layered identity of Andorra, a place that defies easy categorization and invites you to look closer. To understand Andorra, you have to appreciate its wonderfully peculiar political setup. This is a country with not one, but two heads of state, who are known as the co-princes. And here's the quirky part, neither of them is Andorran. One is the president of France and the other is the bishop of Urgell, a town just across the border in Spain. This strange arrangement dates back to the 13th century, a medieval power-sharing deal designed to keep both France and Spain from simply swallowing the tiny territory. It's a brilliant piece of political footwork that has allowed Andorra to maintain its independence for over 700 years, a peaceful island in a continent often torn by conflict. The history of this co-principality is filled with traditions that sound like they've been lifted from a storybook. For centuries, Andorra paid a symbolic tribute to its two rulers to acknowledge their protection. This wasn't paid in gold or silver, but in something far more rustic and charming. The tribute, known as the Questia, involved delivering hams, cheeses, and live chickens to the co-princes. Imagine that, a formal state duty settled with a delivery of fine, local produce. While the tradition has evolved, its spirit captures the down-to-earth, agricultural roots of the country and the wonderfully practical nature of its historic agreements. It's a fun reminder that diplomacy doesn't always have to be stuffy and formal. This unique political status kept Andorra in a sort of time capsule for much of its existence. While the rest of Europe was industrializing and building vast empires, Andorra remained a quiet, pastoral society of shepherds and farmers, governed by ancient customs. It wasn't until 1993 that the country adopted its first written constitution and officially joined the United Nations. Before that, it was a feudal relic operating in the modern age, a place without its own currency. They used French francs and Spanish pesetas, and with a legal system based on centuries-old precedent. This slow march to modernity is a key part of what makes Andorra so fascinating today. The transition from a secluded mountain society to a modern European microstate has been rapid and transformative. The country effectively leapt from the Middle Ages into the 21st century in just a few decades. This history explains why you can find a Romanesque church from the 11th century just a stone's throw from a state-of-the-art ski lift. The dual ruler system, once a necessity for survival, is now a cherished part of the national identity. It's a symbol of Andorra's ability to balance its relationships with its powerful neighbors while forging its own distinct path, a clever and enduring dance of diplomacy. For most of its long history, life in Andorra was dictated by the seasons and the mountains. The economy was built on the backs of sheep and the cultivation of tobacco on the few farmable terraces carved into the steep hillsides. It was a tough, self-sufficient existence. Andorran families passed down their land and their flocks from one generation to the next, their lives deeply intertwined with the rugged landscape. The country was poor, isolated, and largely forgotten by the outside world. This isolation, however, inadvertently planted the seeds for its future prosperity. Being outside the major European economic blocs meant Andorra could set its own rules, particularly when it came to taxes. The big change came in the mid-20th century. As travel became easier, people started discovering this hidden mountain enclave. They were drawn not just by the stunning scenery, but by something far more tangible: the lack of taxes. Savvy Andorran entrepreneurs realized they could offer goods like alcohol, tobacco, and luxury items at prices far lower than in neighboring France and Spain. And so, the great transformation began. The quiet capital, Andorra la Vella, started to buzz with activity. Shepherd's paths slowly gave way to paved roads, and old stone barns were replaced by hotels and shops. The nation had found its new gold rush. Alongside the shopping boom came the rise of skiing. With its reliable snowfall and dramatic mountain terrain, Andorra was a natural fit for winter sports. Developers built world-class ski resorts like Gran Valira and Valnord, which now attract millions of visitors each year. These resorts are marvels of modern engineering, with high-speed lifts, perfectly groomed pistes, and vibrant après-ski scenes. The economy shifted decisively from agriculture to tourism and retail. This brought unprecedented wealth to the principality, turning one of Europe's poorest corners into one of its most prosperous. The standard of living soared, and the population grew as people from Spain, France, and Portugal moved in for work. This rapid development has created a fascinating social landscape. You still have families who can trace their Andorran roots back for centuries, living alongside a diverse population of recent immigrants. The official language is Catalan, but you're just as likely to hear Spanish, French, and Portuguese spoken on the streets. This economic miracle, driven by shopping and skiing, has completely reshaped the country. It has funded excellent infrastructure, a high-quality healthcare system, and a safe, clean environment. Yet beneath the glossy surface of this modern boom, the old Andorran spirit of resilience and practicality remains, a quiet reminder of the pastoral world that came before. Andorra isn't just one single place, it's a collection of distinct valleys, each with its own character and atmosphere. The main valley, which follows the Valira River, is the country's bustling nerve center. This is where you'll find the capital, Andorra la Vella, and the neighboring urban area of Escaldes and Gordony. This central corridor is the hub of shopping, business, and entertainment. It's a vibrant, energetic place, where modern architecture sits alongside historic buildings. And the streets are filled with a cosmopolitan mix of tourists and locals. Life here is fast-paced and convenient, offering all the amenities of a modern European city, but with the Pyrenees always looming beautifully in the background. Venture away from the central hub, and you'll discover a different side of Andorra. Head up into the northern valleys, towards Ordino or Canillo, and the pace of life slows down considerably. Here, charming stone villages seem to tumble down the hillsides, their slate roofs glistening in the mountain sun. These parishes have fiercely protected their heritage. You can wander through quiet lanes, discover ancient Romanesque churches, and visit small museums that tell the story of rural Andorran life. It's in these areas that old traditions feel most alive. You might stumble upon a village festival celebrating a local saint, or see farmers tending their small plots of land, a scene that has changed little over the centuries. The climate in Andorra is as varied as its landscape, a true mountain climate with 4 distinct seasons. Winters are cold and snowy, especially at higher altitudes, creating the perfect conditions for the ski season that dominates life from December to April. The valleys are blanketed in white, and the air is crisp and still. Spring brings a spectacular transformation, as the snow melts to reveal lush, green meadows dotted with wildflowers. Summers are warm and sunny, perfect for hiking, mountain biking, and exploring the country's many trails. Autumn is a final burst of color, as the forests turn brilliant shades of red, orange, and gold before winter returns. This blend of old and new is woven into the fabric of daily life. An Andorran family might spend their morning working in a high-tech office in the capital, then head up to a traditional borda, an old stone barn converted into a rustic restaurant, for a hearty lunch of grilled meats and mountain potatoes. They can enjoy the thrill of duty-free shopping for the latest gadgets and then retreat to the tranquility of a centuries-old village. This ability to switch between worlds, to enjoy modern luxury one moment and timeless tradition the next, is the essence of the Andorran experience. It's a unique lifestyle that harmonizes the past and the present in a single stunning mountain setting. So, could you really live in Andorra on $600 a month? Let's be realistic. While Andorra offers tax advantages, it's not a budget destination in the way some parts of Eastern Europe or Southeast Asia are. The cost of living, especially for housing, is comparable to its Western European neighbors. Groceries, fuel, and everyday items are reasonably priced, but finding an apartment in the desirable central areas would consume that budget very quickly. So, while a shoestring budget of $600 is likely a dream, the question itself helps us understand Andorra's unique position. It's not a bargain basement hideaway, but a high-quality, prosperous society that just happens to have some fantastic shopping deals. What makes Andorra truly special is how its long history of being overlooked allowed it to become the place it is today. For centuries, it was the forgotten corner of Europe, a footnote in the grand story of empires and wars. This isolation was its shield. It allowed Andorra to preserve its unique culture, its language, and its peculiar form of government. It fostered a spirit of independence and self-reliance that still defines the national character. When the world finally did come knocking, Andorra was ready to engage on its own terms, leveraging its unique status to build a thriving modern economy without sacrificing its soul. This is a country that invites you to experience life on a different scale. It's a place where you can feel the rhythm of the mountains, where the grandeur of nature is a constant companion. You can start your day with an espresso in a chic cafe, and end it with a hike to a secluded mountain lake. You can delve into its fascinating history at a Romanesque church and then enjoy some of the best skiing in Europe. It's this richness and variety, all packed into such a tiny space, that makes Andorra so captivating. It's a reminder that the most interesting places are often the ones hidden in plain sight. So, the next time you're poring over a map of Europe, let your eyes drift to that little spot between France and Spain. Don't just see a tiny country, imagine it. Picture the soaring peaks, the deep valleys, and the stone villages. Imagine paying tribute with cheese and chickens and sharing your country between a president and a bishop. Think of the journey from a land of shepherds to a haven for shoppers and skiers. Andorra is more than just a place. It's a story of survival, ingenuity, and the magic of being just a little bit different. It's a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Thanks for joining me.